Howie Roseman just pulled off another sneaky front office move that has the whole city buzzing right now. We all know how unpredictable things get when key guys get banged up on the outside. Well, the front office did not just find a temporary fix to fill the void. They actually went ahead and locked down a highly hyped target for the foreseeable future. The coaching staff is absolutely fired up about what this means for our deep passing game. Grab your water ice and let us break down this sneaky, brilliant financial maneuver for the offense. The Philadelphia Eagles just pulled off an aggressive maneuver to bolster our receiving core by acquiring Dontayvion Wicks from the Green Bay Packers. This move cost us a 2026 fifth-round draft pick and a 2027 sixth-round selection. But the front office clearly feels this addition is worth the price. To solidify the commitment, the team immediately signed him to a one-year $12.5 million contract extension, keeping him in the mix through the 2027 season. Wicks arrives with a history of high-variance production, having hauled in 108 receptions for 1,328 yards and 11 touchdowns during his three-year tenure in Green Bay. What makes this even bigger is that he already possesses a working knowledge of offensive coordinator Sean Mannion's system from their time together with the Packers. Fans are buzzing because this is not just a depth signing. It is a tactical investment in a rugged, hard-nosed player who offers a physical edge as a blocker that we have been craving in this new scheme. While he may be slated for a number 3 role once DeVonta Smith and Makai return from their respective absences, the urgency of this contract extension signals that the organization expects him to contribute as a legitimate deep ball specialist immediately. Seeing management tie him to the franchise through 2027 shows they see him as a long-term piece. But the real question remains, how exactly does this depth chart shuffle affect our ability to stretch the field when the full rotation is finally healthy? And is this a precursor to even more changes coming down the pike before the regular season begins? A $9 million guaranteed figure sitting within that $12.5 million maximum contract reflects an aggressive organizational commitment that goes well beyond the typical veteran depth signing. Bringing him into the fold serves as a clear hedge against the uncertainty currently surrounding our receiver room, especially with DeVonta Smith and Makai sidelined. And honestly, it is refreshing to see front office decision makers prioritize a player who brings such a gritty, run-blocking reputation to the perimeter. His background operating as a high-variance downfield threat in Green Bay suggests the coaching staff expects him to stretch defenses in ways that demand respect from opposing secondaries. We have watched other franchises hesitate to pull the trigger on these types of mid-off-season roster shifts, but this move feels different because of the specific asset cost involved. Surrendering a 2026 fifth-round selection alongside a 2027 sixth-round pick shows management is not just filling a roster spot, but actively hunting for an immediate contributor who can bridge the gap in this new offensive scheme. We know he had his share of health hurdles last season, but the fact that he was already working under our offensive coordinator during his time with the Packers means he arrives with a tactical head start. Many fans are wondering if this signals a broader shift in how we handle receiver depth moving forward, particularly with his contract now locked in through the 2027 season. Seeing this level of investment for a player expected to compete for the third receiver role proves the brass is dead set on ensuring we have reliable physical options ready to produce every single snap. Moving beyond the raw transaction details, we need to focus on what this adjustment actually delivers for the team's immediate future. Here's what people are missing. By securing a player who brings such a proven, hard-nosed style to the field, our front office is prioritizing a specific type of grit that changes the way we approach game day personnel rotations. Adding this level of production creates a much stiffer challenge for anyone hoping to secure those lower-end receiver spots, and honestly, the sheer investment of a multi-year commitment proves the organization values his specific skill set more than typical veteran filler. With the cap impact now clearly defined by the contract extension terms, we gain much-needed stability at the position during a period where some key starters are working their way back to full health. Looking at the schedule ahead, having an option who understands the offensive language from his previous time with the staff gives us a reliable outlet for those tough, contested catches that decide close divisional games. This move reinforces our standing by ensuring we remain dangerous even when the depth chart faces inevitable mid-season fatigue or injury. While the division rivals rely on status quo configurations, our willingness to aggressively import and lock up talent through 2027 shows a clear intent to outpace the competition for those coveted playoff seeds. It feels like the coaching staff finally has the exact piece they needed to bridge the gap until the full lineup is back in action. And that makes me feel much better about our deep ball effectiveness heading into the heart of the season. Adam Schefter confirmed that this acquisition of Dontayvion Wicks comes alongside a one-year, $12.5 million contract extension, which creates an intriguing financial footprint for our wide receiver room. The upside here is fairly obvious because Wicks provides a younger, high-variance deep threat who has already shown he can handle a target load, racking up over 300 yards in his time with the Packers. And here's why that's a big deal. The organization is clearly betting that the familiarity he shares with Sean Mannion will shorten his learning curve, allowing him to contribute immediately while our other options are nursing injuries. However, we must address the risk because allocating that much money and draft capital for someone who might ultimately settle into a number 3 role could limit our flexibility elsewhere. Analysts have pointed out that this move places him firmly behind DeVonta Smith, while others wonder if the presence of Hollywood Brown or Elijah Moore might complicate his path to targets once the roster is fully healthy. The way I see it, the front office is banking on his rugged blocking ability being a difference maker. Yet, I have to admit that paying $9 million in guaranteed money for a potential third option is a bold gamble that puts a lot of pressure on him to perform when his number is called. Some pundits believe this setup signals a potential future exit for other veterans, but I think that is reading too much into the move. I just want to see if this deep ball speed translates to our scheme during the regular season, because that is the missing element we truly need. When you weigh the logic of this front office transaction against the wider roster plans for our upcoming campaigns, the strategy is clearly focused on securing reliable assets that fit this specific coaching vision. Adding a player like Dontayvion Wicks gives our offense a proven depth piece who offers more than just utility, especially since he is now tethered to our squad through the 2027 season. And I'll be straight with you, the $9 million in guaranteed money signals that the leadership team views him as a vital insurance policy for our receiving room. For us fans, this move provides a sense of relief because it addresses our need for reliable perimeter options, without waiting for the draft or free agency to dictate our terms later on. I feel confident about this because he already knows how to navigate the offensive concepts we are running, and that familiarity should help him jump into the rotation immediately once the regular season gets underway. While he competes for those tertiary duties, his background suggests we finally have a genuine deep ball specialist who can keep opposing defenses honest. Watching the organization lock him in this way reflects a calculated commitment to remaining competitive while managing our cap space against potential long-term departures. It is the type of move that builds stability in an otherwise high-variance position group. Given that we invested 2 draft picks to acquire him, do you believe he will eventually earn a starting job outside of the third receiver role this year? If you enjoyed the video, do not forget to like it and subscribe to the channel.